Sir, your screen is also shared with us. Hello.
Hello, am I audible, madam?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay.
Sir, should we start?
Yeah, please, please.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
So, good morning to one and all present over here. On behalf of Department of Electrical Engineering of PR Kote Patil College of Engineering and Management, I, Dr. A.S. Telan, welcome you all for this pleasant morning session of virtual STTP on optimization tools and techniques for solving real-world problems in the field of electrical engineering, which is organized by IEEE Bombay section in association with Department of Electrical Engineering of PR Kote Patil Educational and Welfare Trust College of Engineering and Management Amravati in collaboration with Department of Electrical Engineering St. Vincent Pallotti College of Engineering and Technology, Nagpur. I warmly welcome our today's resource person, Honorable Dr. A.B. Marathe, Principal HVPM COET Amravati. We are really fortunate to have such eminent resource person for our STTP. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce our today's resource person, Honorable Dr. A.B. Marathe sir, the great philosopher and the great educationalist. Better than 1,000 days of diligent study is one day with a great teacher, and so you are, sir. Honorable Dr. Ananta Balkrishna Marathe, Principal HVPM's College of Engineering and Technology, Amravati. I would like to have the introduction for sir. His teaching experience total above 41 years, out of which 8 years in research and development department of industrial houses, 18 years as principal, 9 years as professor, 7 years as assistant professor, and 7 years as lecturer. He has developed innovative technologies which are implemented and know-how transferred for organic solid waste management, plastic waste management, generation of dry HCl gas through alternative route to sulfuric acid process, a project successfully developed from laboratory scale to commercial level. That was great achievement, sir. And another that was the downjet combustion technology. He has been granted for 5 patents. The first one was on lubricating gels from polyphenic waste, granted a patent on design of combustor for combustion of high ash fuels, granted patent on process for rapid disposal and conversion of vegetable fruit market waste into manure, and another patent on synthesis of biofuel and manure from non-edible de-oiled cakes, and another published for grant of patent on catalytic converter based on PCB, that is the e-waste. He has received number of awards. He was nominated for National Award for Innovations by Confederation of Indian Institute CII New Delhi. He has been awarded as a Distinguished Principal Award by Computer Society of Indian Techniques 2017 at IIT Mumbai. He was awarded as a Vasundhara Mitra Award by Nature Conservation Society Amravati and Satpura Foundation Amravati in Kirloskar Vasundhara International Film Festival. He was also awarded as an Excellence Award in Publication category by Rugged Plast Organizing Committee Mumbai. He was given Excellence Award in Paper Presentation in International Conference on Plastic Waste Management and Environment, New Delhi. His field of interest are grassroots technology, appropriate technology, material science, waste management, renewable and non-conventional sources of energy, training and skilling. With this, I would like to request today's eminent speaker, Honorable Dr. A.B. Marathe sir, to enlighten us with his valuable guidance on institutional social responsibilities and sustainable development goals.
Thank you, ma'am. Am I?
Please,
Yeah.
sir,
Hello.
1 minute, sir. I would like to first welcome for this. Just wait a second, sir. No, my screen. Uh, so please, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Very good morning to one and all. At the outset, I am thankful to Dr. Telang, ma'am, for her elevating me. Truly speaking, I am just a student of some of the fields related with waste management and some innovative technology in the area of waste management or chemical technology. So, thank you, ma'am, for your very nice introduction. Again, at the outset, I wish like to thank PR Pote Patil's Education and Welfare Trust group of institutions, College of Engineering and Management, Amravati, as well as the collaborator, that is Electrical Engineering Department of St. Paloti Engineering College, Nagpur. Incidentally, I am associated with both these great institutions for couple of, you can say, years, and I am really delighted to be part of this today's session. Friends, the two things I will like to tell before we start interacting on this topic. One first question may come to everybody's mind that it is a conference of electrical engineering people. They talk about more on electronics. It is IEEE conference. Why this sustainable development or ISR, whatever you want to call it, conference or workshop or workshop or workshop or seminar. At the outset, let me clear, friends, we have entered into the era where whether we are working in energy as engineer or in materials as engineer or in a social circles, whether we are academicians, researchers, or whomsoever, as long as we are a global citizen and Indian citizen, two new responsibilities have come to all of us, whether academician, scientist, or anybody related with technology. That is, now whenever we will develop anything, whatever we will innovate, whatever projects we undertake, or whatever education we try to impart, one component is essential. It is not completely new, but over a decade, it has been made almost mandatory, and that component is sustainable development. There cannot be any work, let it be your research work, let it be postgraduate work, let it be industrial product development or process development, or let it be development of our student. One common goal of whatever branch of engineering we are studying will be to keep the word sustainable and to achieve sustainable development goals henceforth. Why I am saying so? So this is what I will be trying to first introduce about how this concept of sustainable development had come, evolved, and almost occupied the complete spheres of the globe. What are the goals which are set by the nations of various nations of this globe, and the period before which we have to attain the goal? With this background of sustainable development and sustainable development goal, National Education Policy NEP 2020 is evolved. Now you will find many of the points or thrust or the orientation and new directions which are given in this policy are based on the concept of sustainable development and our nation's commitment to the world that we will be achieving these goals within time frame. So now we all, those who are in the education field, now we'll be facing and implementing the National Education Policy 2020 because that policy is finalized, it is declared, it is in the phase of implementation, and we are the carriers of that implementation process. So that policy itself based on attaining the sustainable development goal. So we will have to correlate NEP 2020 with SDG, that is sustainable development goal. Once we understand these two parameters, the implementer of all both our nation's commitment to the globe as well as implementation of NEP 2020. Finally, it lies on institutions, maybe university, maybe colleges, and ultimately it will be on the shoulder of we the teachers. So this is how I will try to correlate, and I will like to emphasize on everybody that whatever even undergraduate level we project take, even in the field of electronics or electrical engineering, we have to keep the eye or focus on, you can say, NEP, and through that NEP on sustainable development goal, and what will ultimately come out to be institutional social responsibilities. So friends, what we will be discussing will be in three parts. One will be concept of sustainable development and the policy statement of NEP. With that, we will be able to understand that what exactly we are supposed to do. Once we have understood what we are supposed to do, then I will like to present a case study what we at our level in a small way are doing. You will, with that may you will find that those are not very big things, but small things only bring big changes. So even if easily feasible and easily adoptable measures what we at our level are trying to implement, if I am able to share as good practices, probably my fellow teachers, my fellow institution members may get benefit out of it for their planning in future, so that we are in true spirit are implementing NEP and through that achieving sustainable development goals. So this first part of our interaction will be based on concept of sustainable development, how this background, what is the background with which this concept of sustainable development has come out, what are the goals which globe and all the countries on the globe have, you can say, dedicated themselves to achieve those goals, what is India's vision and how it is reflected in NEP. This will be our first part of discussion. So let us understand from where the concept of sustainable development come. Truly speaking, if we see the Indian culture or Indian way of living, it was always based on the concept of sustainable development. But for few decades, we got deviated, or we may say that for certain centuries, we deviated ourselves away from that concept. And now again, we are coming back, whole world, we are coming back to the same concept. So what is the concept, original concept? The original concept, this term of sustainable development, at Global Forum was first coined during World Commission meeting on Environmental and Development, which is popularly known as Brundtland's Commission. And the theme was our common future. It was established, that conference was commission has published its report in 1987, and this report has defined the policy required to achieve the sustainable development. Now, the word sustainable development is defined in various ways, but the most, you can say, appropriate in my opinion, and the one which is most accepted by the globe, is the development that meets the need of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. This definition was adopted by UN in Johannesburg conference in 2002. The background was, for last 2 centuries, particularly after the development of steam engine and then internal combustion engines, the pace of so-called development increased tremendously. The steam engine and internal combustion engines, they were definitely giving more production, fast production, more machinization, but the energy which was used, that is electrical engineering or for driving the, you can say, the kinetic energy, it was derived only from natural resources such as coal or petroleum resources. The exploration, the exploitation of these natural resources was at a so high speed, you can say centuries and centuries are taken by the nature to create these deposits, but human beings have started exploring it at such a faster rate that a condition has come that within few decades, probably the availability of petrol, diesel, or even to some extent coal will be at tremendously low, very scarce. So future generations, after another few decades, may not be able to even use coal or petroleum resources because they will not be available. So we will be completely stopping sources of energy for them. And second big problem which has happened during these last 2 centuries, that indiscriminate explorations and utilization of these natural resources have led to tremendous pollution, and the effect, greenhouse effect, was started being felt too much. The temperature, rise in temperature of the globe becomes so predominant that many of the ice coverings of the earth, they start depleting and existence of the earth came in danger. So that time the world has realized the importance of conservation, storing, reusing, recycling. And through a very high level meet in 2002 in Johannesburg, but truly the exercise has started in 87. The world has realized that development will be which will conserve the natural resources, particularly which are non-renewable, such as coal and petroleum, and energy needs supply will be shifted from the non-renewable sources to the renewable sources. That is the first thing. And second thing, to combat the pollution, whether it is land pollution, air pollution, or underwater pollution, anything, any new technology, any new process. So carbon footprints, etc., those terminologies started coming in. So the technology has to be, you can say, pollution free. So you can say conserving the resources and combating the land, water, and air pollution. These two things were, you can say, taken on priority, and it was pledged by all the nation that any development has to be sustainable, means we it should be able to meet our present generations all needs and comfort, but that should not lead to compromising of ability of future generations. It should not lead to global warming. In fact, it is decided to take all measures so that trend of global warming should get reduced. Otherwise, 1 or 2 degree rise in earth temperature is going to be highly disastrous. So once the globe has accepted that future technology will be only sustainable, the onus of this, you can say, sustainable development will be on the individual citizens. And we have to understand, once we have understood what is sustainable development, the pillars of sustainable development are only three fundamental elements, that is SEE: society, ecology, and economical. So these three pillars, anything and everything, whatever work, even in small undergraduate project we do, master project we do, and Amravati University, they have already adopted for PhD. There will be always 2 3 questions when we submit the PhD thesis or synopsis, and one of the questions will definitely whether your process, whatever branch of knowledge you are talking about, whether it gets qualified on the test of sustainability. So every teacher, every academic
Excuse me, sir.
hello.
हा सर, मध्ये तुमचा आवाज जातोय.
अरे बापरे. Okay, now am I audible now?
Yes, sir. Now it is audible.
प्लीज समजा आवाज गेला तर सांगा मला.
हो.
Okay, okay. So test of sustainability or pillars of sustainability will be: S stands for social, E stands for ecological, and another E stands for economical. So every proposal must be societal oriented. So it must take into consideration the community, and social identity should not be lost. Second important will be ecological. So health of the natural landscape and preserving the natural sources has to be always tested. Then and then that project can be accepted. Third is economical. So it must be stimulating the financial growth, fostering economic prosperity. So it has to be, it's not that only one section gets developed or something, it should be also economical. Another three words we must keep in mind, that is PCM. First P stands for preserving natural resources. So anything which should our project, our work must lead to preserving the natural resources. So first P of PCM. Second is conserving the economy and the resources. That is, conserving is very important. And third M is maintaining. So social harmony has to be maintained, peace has to be maintained. So on these three SEE and three words: preservation, conservation, and maintenance, these are the six words, and they are the test of sustainability. And every academician must be now fully aware of pillars of sustainability, test of sustainability, concept of sustainability, and PCM, that is preservation, conservation, and maintenance. Now once these things have been accepted, another declaration came in 2004. It is known as Bonds Declaration. And this declaration has paved the way for implementation of such concept of sustainable development. And in Bond Declaration, it is very clearly mentioned that education is key to the development strategies. So technical and vocational education are the master keys for achieving the sustainable development goals. So the onus of educating the new generation, planning for new technologies, planning for new innovations, even for technical and vocational education, irrespective of whether you are studying in electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, or chemical engineering, the onus of sustainable development will be on the shoulders of the technical and vocational education. Now, this is how the concept of sustainability is passed on in the area after in the year after 2004 to the education sector. And we all of us know that foundation of our new national education policy has started after 2004. So even all of us must appreciate that one of the driving forces of bringing new national education policy, which was started the thinking process started after 2004. The concept was in Johannesburg Declaration, Bonds Declaration, and concept of sustainable development. Now after accepting that, okay, world all countries have accepted that we have to go for sustainable development only, so 17 goals were finalized, and those goals are expected to be achieved by the end of this decade. So time is not much. And
Sir, you are not audible.
not audible, ma'am?
Sir,
Hello?
now you are audible.
Hello?
Now you
Oh,
are
oh, oh.
audible, sir.
So I am very sorry. I don't know what is happening. But whenever I am not audible, please stop me that time. I will try to use another, you can say, system of. Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So Okay, so after you can say globe and all the countries of the globe have accepted the first thing that henceforth the any development, any project has to pass the test of sustainability. So once sustainable development model was accepted by the globe in the 21st century, at the start of this 21st
Sir, again you are not audible.
oh, try ma'am, let me try with
Yes.
another mic system. Just a minute, huh? I will again try. Hello,
Yes, sir.
hello.
Yes, sir.
Am I audible again?
Yes, sir.
काय माहित बा इंटरनेटचेच प्रॉब्लेम असेल तर काय आय डोंट नो.
सर येत
ओके.
आहे.
Okay. So now globe has accepted 17 sustainable goals, and we as a country, India is also one of the signatories of that declaration. So we have also accepted these 17 goals, and those 17 goals are to be achieved by end of this decade. So time is not there. Then onus, or you can say responsibility, is on the shoulder of education sector, particularly higher education, and in particular the technical and vocational education. So all we, the stakeholders of technical and vocational education, must understand these 17 sustainable development goal, and any project which we plan must, we should see that that problem statement is relevant, and the solution which we try to provide must be in align with sustainable development concepts and its goals. So what are those 17 goals? Apart from zero poverty, zero hunger, good health, it goes up to collaborations amongst. So in isolation, no institute, nobody will be able to sustain. So from zero poverty, zero hunger, good health, to the peace, justice, strong institutions and collaboration. So I congratulate Kote College as well as Saint Pelote, because even organizing this today's conference or STPP is in alignment with the Sustainable Development Goal 17, that is partnerships and collaborations for various goals. The education sector, which is on which we have to work to achieve SDG, you will find that SDG 4, that is quality education, SDG 6, clean water sanitation, SDG 7, affordable clean energy, 9, industry and innovation, and 12th, responsible production, 13, climate action. So these are the some of the important goals on which we, the stakeholders of technical and vocational education, have to work. So our new production systems, so whatever line we choose, have to be earlier way of producing the things is not now feasible. Otherwise also the earlier way of consumption of raw materials to produce a good is not acceptable. So it is, suppose we are talking about energy, electrical energy, earlier way of consuming coal and petroleum products, and you can say producing energy, that is electrical energy, will not be feasible. Earlier way of producing electricity, the production ways, and generating lot of gases, efficiency of around 25% is not accepted anymore. So anything and everything what we as engineers will have to do, or academicians will have to do, we have to keep this 17 goals in mind. And you will find that our National Education Policy 2020 has great impact of SDG while formulating the policy. So now since we will be implementing national education policy or we have already started implementing it, we must understand the spirit behind policy statement so that when we implement it in true spirit. So what is mentioned in NEP 2020 in relation with sustainable goal? And we know that SEE, that is society, community, is the first priority of sustainable development. You will find that community development has first time become priority atom of education. So NEP 2020 talks many times on the community development as an integral part of higher education. And once we understand NEP in that spirit, we will be able to understand what are educational social responsibilities which we have to fulfill in coming years. So this national education policy, once we have understood the first part, that is sustainable development goals, and how it is related with national education policy. Now, second part of our interaction is certain points on national education policy which are based on sustainable development goals achievement, our commitment to the SDGs. You will find that the very foundation of our national education policy is based on access, equity, quality, affordability, and accountability. You will find the concept of access is SDG 4, and concept of quality education is SDG 5. Concept of quality education is again SDG 4, and concept of affordability. Out of five foundation pillars of NEP 2020, four pillars are based on sustainable development goals and our commitment to the globe to implement SDG. And we know that education is given the catalytic role to play. That is why NEP, which talks about higher education from school to higher education, is based on the concept of sustainable development, and particularly to achieve some of the 17 goals of SDG. What are the vision statement of this NEP 2020, of which we find the roots in SD, that is sustainable development, and SDGs, that is sustainable development goals. You will find the vision statement itself talks about quality higher education with equity and inclusion. This quality, equity, inclusion, they are the concept of SDG. The another vision statement talks about the global education development agenda reflected in SDG 4. Very specifically, the policy statement mentions about SDG 4, and it is to be achieved by 2030. So India has given commitment in 2015 to achieve the SDG 4 by 2030, and it talks about education development agenda. So directly we are having only 7 8 years in our hand so that India can put to the word that we have achieved SDG 4. And what is this SDG 4 talks about? To ensure inclusive, equitable, quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all by 2030. So friends, whatever work, whatever planning we do, we will have to keep inclusiveness, equitability, equality, and lifelong learning opportunities in planning of our education in future. So these are the some of the policy statement or vision statement made in NEP 2020. Another chapter in chapter 10, if we concentrate, that is, we will find the vision statement. 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 That is, we will fi policy talks about higher education institutes and community engagement. This you would not have found probably in earlier, you can say, education policies. But this policy, new national education policy, talks about community engagement in many of the chapters. If you see the fundamental definition of higher education institution, that is university or college, they have expanded the definition of higher education institution, that is university or college. Earlier, university means or higher education institution like college means a institution, multidisciplinary educational institutions of higher learning offering some undergraduate graduate program with teaching and research. That will you will find a universal definition of university, and HEI used to be about high quality teaching and research. But first time the very definition of HEI is expanded and community engagement is the word added. So in our existence of our HEI itself, now community engagement is made part and parcel of our definition along with its teaching and research. So what are the key words now in our new definition? Multidisciplinary, high quality teaching, research, and community engagement. So our all direction has to be in this direction henceforth. In chapter 10.10.6, their crucial responsibilities are mentioned of HEI. And what is their one of the crucial responsibilities of educational institutions like university or colleges? The one of the crucial responsibilities is now community engagement and service. So it has been given as community engagement, which is a part of SDG S, that is societal part. Now it is made one of our responsibilities and part of our definitions also. One in chapter 11 as well as in chapter 13, again that the policy talks about community and our services. The faculty, we are all faculty. The responsibility of our as a faculty, we have talked about institution. In chapter 13, in clause 13.3, they say that faculty will be appointed with commitment to their institution and community. In clause 13.4, they say that empowering the you can say faculty to conduct innovative teaching, research, and service. So our duty also they mention that commitment to community as well as carrying out services to the community, it has been made part of our service. So whether it is our appointment or career advancement schemes or promotion, the one of the performance criteria for all the faculty henceforth will be services to the community. What work we have done for community, what our contribution is for enhancing access, equity, community engagement, and attaining sustainable development. So what branch of engineering we are belonging to, it is immaterial, but components of our service, of our appointment, as a you can say mandate to our college or mandate to our university is about community engagement, and that is what is our social responsibility. So in when we have seen the second part of it, you will find that now henceforth we have to see through SEE, that is society, ecology, and economy, to achieve sustainable development goals. So this is the takeaway from our two parts of our discussion, that is anything and everything what we do henceforth, whether for our appointment, our cash or a promotion, or our existence as HEI, it has to be through SEE, that is society, ecology, and economy only. Now, with this background, the next part comes to us, that is what is institutional social responsibility. No, I think in our first two parts, we have sufficiently understood the concept of sustainable development, what are sustainable development goals, what is the role of education sector in it, what is the role of university and colleges, that is HEI, and what are the responsibilities for our even existence as a faculty for achieving SDG. So, in all, there is new term which is there now, that is institutional social responsibilities. Now, friends, we are hearing for long about CSR, that is corporate social responsibility. Now, the word institutional social responsibility is also coined in big way. So let us slightly try to understand difference between corporate and we the institution. In corporate, they are profit organizations. So there, even though motive may not be there, but they you can say the engine runs on generation of profit. Are profit organization a big difference. Second thing, legally, it is mandatory for corporates to spend about 3% of net profit as per company law every year. That changes on their corporate social responsibilities. That is why you will find that every corporate has established their own trust, and they also give money to others also, but every corporate has established their own trust, and their 3% of the profit from their corporate houses is invested to their trust, because it is not only they are of charity mind, but law also makes it mandatory for them to spend. But for us, we are non-profit organization, and presently there is no such mandatory compulsion to spend anything like this on our social activities. This is the first difference, because they are profit organizations, we are not profit organization. Now, what is their strength? Corporate people, obviously they are financially sound and they are having liquid funds. So, and it is by mandate also they have to spend. So their net profit, they are having finances, so that is their strength. We as an institution, what are our strength? Definitely finance and fund is not our strength. In fact, it is our weakness. Most of the time we struggle for small funding also for our small project also. But there are other our strength. Number one, our learned faculty is one of the most important strength which is not available with any other sector. We are having highly qualified and academically experienced faculty. What they need is a little bit exposure to the community and society. Second, our strength is our having our young students with us. The what a good motivating teacher, inspiration from teacher, and enthusiastic our young student, they can bring great changes, they can do wonders. So one second, our strength is our young student. Third is our, already we are having some networking with the villages due to various schemes like NSS. So every institution is having National Social Service wing, and most of the students from in our colleges particularly, they belong, their roots are in villages. So from rural background we get the students. So many of our teachers are also from rural background, and we are having some network. I will not say very strong network, but definitely some network and some small experience of working with community through the present schemes of like NSS. Another our strength is we are having laboratories and workshops, and we are there to experiment, because experiment is our part of daily routine. So experimentation is not new to us. So we are learned. We are having the, you can say, army of our young enthusiastic student. We are having some network or base in villages and or rural area. We are tuned with laboratories and workshops and experimentation. Now, another part for corporate, when they do CSR, it helps them for brand building. We know Tatas. Tatas are very well having good brand because of their CSR activities, their social activities only. So brand building, you can say develop many educational institutions, rural work. They help at various places, so they get a very good brand. Same thing will be there for our institutions, because henceforth our community engagement is part and parcel of our duty and responsibilities. Definitely, our networking with the society or the community and our outcome of work with networking with community will also bring good brand for our institution. So it is the opportunity for us. Now, next part, I will like to share now this is all said. What up till now what I have done is I said something. I talked about sustainable development. I talked about, you can say, sustainable development goals. I talked about national education policy 2020 and its roots in the sustainable development goal achievement. Then I talked about corporate social responsibility, institutional social responsibilities, and I talked about our very existence, right from our appointment to promotions, as well as we, as our institution of higher education institution, our very existence is now linked with community development and social services. So this was the all background. This is when everything is all said, something has to be told, what done. So it is a small, you can say, presentation on the, as a, you can take it as a case study, which we, as because we are a social organization, our very existence, century, ours is a Hanuman Vyayam Prasarak Mandal is century old organization. In 2014 it was formed. So for almost 107 years they are working, and their basic base, you can say, base is social work. So we have got the legacy of little bit engagement and social engagement. So with that, what small work we as a technical college, engineering college, or vocational professional institution have done, I will like to share with you. Let me tell you the approach with which we have done and which we will be doing probably in years to come. First and foremost, learning from our experience of our century is that sensitization and voluntarism are very important for social engagement and community service. This cannot be thrust upon anybody. We cannot make a social worker by putting some pressure or compulsions. Element of voluntarism is most important ingredient if we want to really do anything or something in the field of social service or social work. So we get students of 16, 18 years old. They stay with us 4 to 6 years maximum. During this 4 and tender age of youth, that is age 18 to 23, those are our mob which is available with us. Similarly, our teachers also come from technological background, and probably all their years together of whatever 24, 25 years they have spent, they were more of academic orientation and less, or they were devoid of so-called voluntarism and social work, because they were always focused on their studies and their academics and achieving some excellence in their qualifications. But here, what is now expected from them, they have to be leader for social work and, you can say, social engagement. And element of voluntarism has to be imbibed in the minds of our teachers as well as in the minds of our student. So our first exercise when they enter at first year level or so, and whatever teachers also we induct, and when we what the teachers we involve or faculty and staff we involve, we give them some sensitization programs and create the element of voluntarism in them. They should be able to enjoy the joy of giving and dignity of labor, and shed away the, you can say, shame of working on ground. So this is the probably the first important step which we do. I will show what are the methods which we are following for sensitization and volunteerism. Second catchword which we have seen is preservation, PCM, preservation, you can say conservation and maintenance. So we work at our institute level before we go to society on some conservation project. Maybe energy conservation, maybe water conservation, maybe plastic waste management, maybe other municipal waste management. So the concept of conservation, preservation, importance of renewable energy, advantages of renewable energy, we definitely work, and we have got good models in our institutions to give exposure to conservation, preservation methodologies. Say paper, pulp paper, that is important part, trees plantation is important part, water conservation projects are important part, renewable energy projects, maybe solar energy or bioenergy. So once the students, faculty are exposed and comfortable and are aware of importance of these aspects of sustainability, now they are sensitized, element of volunteerism is there, they have worked and seen actual with the projects which are working in the institute or around regarding conservation, preservation projects and maintenance project. Then we take them to the rural areas with the theme of technological intervention for rural development. Our theme is fixed, that our theme is technological interventions for rural development, and then through UBA or different projects, even our some of the engineering projects we take related to this concept of technological intervention. We have got outreach program, and we also work on access and equity. So this is how we work. Now let me take to you can say volunteerism and sensitization program. We have got particularly 4 programs for sensitization and imbibing volunteerism in the teachers, staff and students, particularly students. The first program, we call it as lifelong association through plantation of trees. Since laptop is very catchy word, we call it as laptop scheme. In fact, it is nothing but plantation of trees. What do we do? When the student, new student, batch of student enter the college, we form the group as every college must be doing. And for a given group of student, we ask them to plant a tree, and the group has to take care of that planted tree for coming 4 years. And even some of the assessment of performance we do, teachers take them to their plant and ask them show your plant. So in case of, you can say, summer, whatever water bottle they bring, at least one of the student will go and water that plant. They will provide shade. If that plant doesn't survive, the student will have to bring and put another plant. This is how they nurture the plant. And after 4 years, during their graduation ceremony, we put placard with the name of the student, that group, on that tree. And we say that whenever in your life, when you will come back as alumni to the college, you can proudly show that tree to your extended family, your wife, your children. If that is girl, then your husband and your children, that this is the tree I had planted, and see, my name is there. So that is how some belongingness comes with that tree to the young mind of that student. So this experiment, we found that for last, you can say, decade or so, we are successfully implementing, and our otherwise barren land now has become lush green, and almost all trees are planted by the group of the student, and they have taken care of nurturing that. So that is what we call it laptop. Second scheme, I will show the photograph later on. Second is important thing is about blank pages. Being chemical technologist and chemical engineer, I know the most polluting industry of the world is pulp and paper industry. We do not know, our students do not know, to prepare 1 ton of paper, how many trees are to be cut, how many gallons and lakhs of liters of water is to be used, how much liquid waste, liquid effluent is available, thrown out from pulp industry, how much air polluting things comes out from any pulp or paper industry. Pulp and paper industry is one of the, you can say, an ecologically dangerous industry, I should say, in the form of its energy consumption, in the forms of water consumption, in the form of raw material, that is trees it needs, and in the form of pollution it makes through air pollution also. So we have to imbibe into minds of our young student that one piece of paper, if you unnecessarily use or throw, how much damage you are causing to the environment. So for that, what we do, we take collect, say after examinations are over, both semesters final examinations are over, team of volunteers move in and around the institutions in our campus and collect from them the blank pages of their notebooks. In one engineering college, all of us knows that generally we have 38 to 40 subjects, theory subjects, and around 24 to 28 practical subjects, as well as seminar and projects. And even if one student keeps 2 pages blank in his notebook, he will be joining soon as a faculty member in the department of electrical engineering. So what we do, we
Sir, you are not audible. Hello, hello.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, you're not audible.
Sir might be having some network issue. He will be joining soon. Have patience, participants. हॅलो हा सर हो ठीक आहे सांगते मी हो हो ते दिसलं सर ओके हो 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 ठीक आहे सर there is a supply problem on sir side so have patience he will be joining soon.
Excuse me, madam. Aparna, ma'am.
Yes sir hello
Yes, sir. Is there any
सर
test
आवाज
today?
येतो का तुमचा हॅलो
आज टेस्ट आहे का मॅडम?
हॅलो
Is there any test today?
नो सर
Okay, okay.
so participants if you are having such activities in your college you may come forward to discuss those activities so that together we can achieve the sustainable development as sir is telling us. So on valedictory function, which is on 18th of June, you may come forward for such innovative ideas so that together we can build a nation, a society which is achieving that sustainable development goal. So keep in mind, dear participants, such innovative ideas that you are running in your institute So please come forward and share with us on the last day, that is the valedictory function on 18th June. Okay. सरांनी ज्या काही सांगितलं आपल्याला ऍक्टिव्हिटीज, दॅट वॉज रिअली वंडरफुल. The activity I liked very much. That was the laptop skill. The name is also very attracting one. Okay, and also the uh, blank page bank. It was really a nice idea that put forward by our honorable sir. That was really nice. Sir has joined. Let us continue. Welcome,
Sorry,
sir.
am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Sorry, it was because of the technical reason power went off, so I have started a generator now. So obviously because of power off, internet also gone. So should I continue, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this was all about, you can say, blank pages bank. That is, we collect the blank pages from the institution and we impress upon the student importance of using every piece of paper as far as possible, avoid creating the paper waste because how it is damaging the ecology. Third initiative which we take is we have formed one group, Srujan group, and it is truly heart of the sensitization program. This Srujan group works in the area of old age home. It works in the people with orphanages and all other sections, say Red Ribbon Club. So they, all such section of the society, the students are exposed realities of those that part of societies, so they get sensitized, voluntarism start to that extent that students start celebrating their birthday and Diwali and other festivals also with these destitutes or unfortunate part of our society. So another way of you can say sensitizing and voluntarism is through awareness programs like workshops and rallies. So let me just show you some of the glimpses of success of the laptop scheme, that is lifelong association through plantation of the trees. Every year around 200 trees are planted and grown. You will find earlier it was a barren land completely. Now it is completely a lush green and all plants, plantation is done by the student and their names are put on the trees. On every 24th of the month, we celebrate as No Vehicle Day so that student understands the importance of pollution because of the automobile. At various places, the boards are displayed. When students have to walk almost 2 kilometers to reach college from our main gate, so that time they realize, and of course they can come on bicycle, that is not a problem, but petrol or diesel driven vehicles are not allowed. And we that day state the importance of you can say how much greenhouse gases we have saved, how much pollution we have saved. So this is how our calculation says that about 2000 kilos of CO2 are saved in one particular day only in this campus. We have got wetland project. Many of you may be knowing our college is located in the very heart of the old Amravati city and it is surrounded by all houses and jhopadpatti around. We don't have any sewage waste stream available around us. So whatever waste comes out from college, we have made a zero discharge project. We have made trenches and in that trenches the impervious layer of waste cement bags, used cement bags, is so that wastewater does not percolate down to the earth and it does not spoil the groundwater. Above that, brick battens are kept, sand layers are kept, soil layer is given, and by the side of these trenches all trees are planted. So wastewater, it gets filtered, as well as the same the tree plant, whatever plantation of tree is done, the trees are fed with the water from the wastewater sources only. And ultimately after a long trench then it goes to the harvesting pit. So this is a zero waste, zero liquid waste project and development of the wetland. And every year we take our student to show this project for new admittee. This is how they get sensitized for some treatment also. Blank pages bank, as I told you, we show them that for every, you can say the books, you can say we create how much tree we are saving, and every year more than 10,000 blank pages we are able to collect, from which our student make the notebook and they distribute to the needy. And approximately every year 2 mature trees we are able to save, which is equal to 260 pounds of oxygen consumed by 4 people. All of us know that importance of oxygen we have understood in COVID days. There is only one way where oxygen is supplied to the earth, that is only tree. There is no other, nature also do not have any other source of generating oxygen other than through photosynthesis process of the tree. So if we pollute the air, we pollute the oxygen, but we do not contribute for generation, in that case supply demand side of oxygen will be terrific. So even from that point of view also, tree plantation is essential. That is what we impress upon the student, and we sensitize them about water saving, wastewater, you can say, treatment, and planting of the trees. So these all projects help student to understand or to get sensitized, and element of definitely voluntarism gets propped up in the young minds of our student. Another, as I told you, the exercise of you can say sensitizing the student is through the Srujan group activities. This Srujan group, they regularly organizes visits and, you can say, help camps at orphanages, old age homes, jail, leprosy centers, government hospitals, even red light areas. And they have got interactions, interviews of inmates, interview of the organizers of these orphanages, their workers. Through this interaction with inmates and the institution runners, managers of those institutions, our students get highly motivated. They, over the period, without telling them anything, it becomes their practice that they celebrate their birthdays, festivals, national days with the inmates of orphanages, old age home, etc. Our chief guest for college functions, maybe even student gathering or cultural festival or sports festival, two of our guests are always from orphanages. So we involve the orphanage inmates in our college cultural and sports program. That way, those unfortunate kids also get advantage of interacting with institutions like engineering college, enjoying with festivals over there, and our students also get involved with those, you can say, people, and a very good sensitization and bond takes place. These are some of the our glimpses of Srujan group. They, you can say, celebrate with unfortunate old age home or orphanage student. Every year, district level and state level, Chacha Nehru Ball Mahotsav is organized by government of Maharashtra. And we are proud and privileged to state that our institution is host for this district level festival, and if state level festival is held at Amravati, then also we are the host for holding these 3 days Bala Mahotsav. So who are the participants, children from in this Mahotsav? They are only and only from child homes, or you can say orphanages only. And in hundreds, the student come, stay here. Our student take care of them. They voluntarily participate, organize, they become the judges. They help for their stay, food, playing, their competitions. And 3 days program, this is one of the important program or celebration for which helps them for sensitization and imbibing the voluntarism. So these are the some of the activities of the Srijan group. which imbibes voluntarism and sensitization of the young minds for making them good volunteers from second year onwards. Another area is
Extremely
up.
sorry, sir, to
Hello.
interrupt you. Sorry, sir. Your presentation is not visible.
Oh, just a minute. I will show. Probably screen sharing has gone. I will again try to bring it. Screen sharing. Just a minute, ma'am. Thank you. Just a minute. Huh? Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Okay. I will take few slides back because, in my opinion, see, these are some of the important sensitization programs of our Srujan group. So you will find all these orphanage students and our students together organizing the 3 days festival every year, which is known as Chacha Bal Mahotsav, Chacha Nehru Bal Mahotsav. Now, after sensitization, one of another activities is about ecology, that is renewable energy sources and water harvesting. So for almost a decade, we have established, earlier we had 50 kilowatt solar power plant fully automatic, and now the capacity is increased to 100 kilowatt. So our students make regular visit. They study the solar plant working. We have made it accessible so that anybody, these are all rooftop we are used. So students on their our rooftop, they go, they study the system. Every year, every month, we have got the comparison of how much electricity we have generated through our solar power plant, how much we have consumed from conventional Maharashtra State Electricity Board, and what how much we are able to save if there would not have been solar plant, what was our earlier electricity bills or consumption. Now with 100 kWp plant, how much we are in fact exporting to MACB, and how economical it is, how ecological it is, how maintenance free it is. So that type of training is regularly given to the student, and they are also told the importance of renewable solar energy form, so that when they go into their profession, they at their places of work or their houses, they also become sensitized for energy, and they propagate the use of renewable energy sources. One of our student is a leading solar energy plant manufacturer in India now. That is Amit Arokar. He has established his plant in Amravati only. Now ECE Energy Solutions, and he is the leading person in this solar plant, you can say, and we are proud to quote that he is our alumni. Now next is, we undertake, now they are students are sensitized nicely to our extent, as well as voluntarism, sense of voluntarism, dignity of labor, shy of working has gone. So these attributes which are important to undertake any outreach program, once this young youths of sensitized mind and element of voluntarism in them is there, now when they enter to first year or second semester or in second year, that time we involve them in our outreach program. Now why only we? Every institution undertakes at least two major programs like Unnat Bharat Abhiyan or NSS scheme. So our target of undertaking projects during our NSS camp or as a NSS activity or our Unnat Bharat Abhiyan, our theme is very clear there: technological intervention for rural development. So, even though routine, regular activities, whatever is prescribed by NSS, by Amravati University, or that way, some of the activities which are mandatory, those they definitely do. We don't compromise on that. But what we do, that once we go to any village or adopt any village, first thing we do is to undertake the survey. Now our students understand what they want to do. They are reasonably sensitized. So initially few days we had to develop or give some training. Now it is on auto mode. Immediately they take survey to understand available sources in that village. What are the products which are made from that village? What type of crops are there? What are the sources of energy which they use? What is their need? What are the sources of water? What are the various waste streams? What are the types? What is the quality of that water? What is the quantity of that water? All such type of data is first collected. So for 7 8 days, regularly our student group of student visit and they take the survey. Standard pro formas are made and main information is collected about available resources, available present produces, what the village consumes, whatever comes to that village, what they import and what do they export, the types of energy they use. Second phase, after 8 days of surveys, the group of students with their mentor, their teacher, guide, they analyze the survey report and whatever data they have collected is converted into information to make out certain problem statement. Here, the teachers are also involved and once problem statements we identify, we try to formulate certain physical projects because we know that the feasibility is important because time is a constraint, money is the constraint, the distance between village and their time available, everything is constraint. So within those constraints, of course, the participation of villagers, youths over there, the sarpanch, the progressive farmers of that villages, all those constraints are also considered and the projects problem statements are made and two types of projects are made. First, can we undertake as minor project at third year level or major project in final year or should it be NSS or UBA project? So under three categories, we classify those projects and depending upon teachers' involvement, student involvement and feasibility, either the project is taken as minor project or final year major project or as a UBA NSS purely you can say extension reach outreach program project. Now groups are formed. We ensure that local youth, sarpanch, team of NSS coordinator, UBA coordinator, sensitize volunteers and guides, project member and guides, and some of the progressive villagers are involved. Unless this type of group is formed, we do not go ahead with implementation of the project. So this is the methodology which follow. Now, once we identify the somebody from villages, sarpanch, progressive farmers, some local youth, our some interested student, guide, and these are feasible, then we start discussion at village level with their groups and teams. Villagers' involvement is essential. Without them, we cannot do any project for village. That is what our experience tells us. Now, number of these levels at various levels and number of times discussions are held by inviting either village people to college or we go to the villages and we involve every stakeholder and many you can say tons of discussion take place. Then we finalize the identification of specific problem. We make finalize the problem statement, their objective, form project teams. Then planning is done with available resources and constraints and implementation of that project is done. After implementing the project, most important part, we study the cost benefit analysis and outcomes. This is the methodology we follow when we undertake any project under you can say extension program or NSS, UBA or even major or minor project, academic project also. So I will like to showcase some of the successful project done through this methodology and you will find all the concept of SDG, expectations of national education policy and our you can say sensitization and volunteerism program, how they get converted into success. Some of the innovative projects I will like to show for just this is not the you will I will never claim they are very big something. They are definitely very small project but outcome based, and it has helped our students. Some of the students have become entrepreneur also, agro entrepreneur, agro technopreneur. Farmers are benefited, so outcomes are good. That is why I want to interact and share this project with you. The few projects which I will be talking is the empowering marginal fibers, then you can say smokeless chullas, twin toilet bathroom project which was selected up to national level, biogas plants, establishment of biogas plant, and empowering youths. So these are the some of the projects I will like to share. As I told earlier, our innovative project baseline is or theme is technological interventions for develop, you can say village development. So element of innovativeness should be there. It must be technological based. So whatever our we as a engineering college, our teachers are engineering teachers and student as engineering student learn. So its implementation, its application should be definitely visible, and it should lead to some development project of the village. So with if the project falls under this category, only then it is selected for implementation. Now, one of the success story is about development of environment controlled automated greenhouse. The concept is very interesting, using IoT technology, Internet of Things technology, using micro irrigation technology, measuring the, you can say, using sensors and measuring the humidity, moisture content, temperature. We have tried to create environmentally controlled, you can say completely automatic and controlled environment suitable for a particular crop, and none other than strawberry we have selected, because generally strawberry is a value added product. It is grown either in cold areas like Mahabaleshwar or to some extent in Chikaldara nowadays. But we have taken, you can say, a little bit bold step to try to create automatic through automatics and IoT means the temperature, the moisture, the humidity, which is most suitable and optimum for growth of strawberry. And the farm was from our one of the adopted villagers. The son of that farmer was already studying in one of the engineering colleges, mechanical engineer. So he also got motivated and he also joined the group. The water was given by adjoining industry. So they have accepted our proposal to provide water. Somebody has donated micro irrigation things, only IoT sensors, etc. we have provided. Students were there, so it was a team of farmer, local villagers, by side small industrialists, plus some donors and college and the student. You can see the honorable vice chancellor, honorable registrar, UBA people visiting, appreciating the product, and we were able to produce, that farmer was able to produce strawberry of equal quality whatever available in market. And he what he claimed later on, that in a one season he was able to earn few lakhs of the rupees through, you can say, cultivation of strawberry. In next season he has converted same environmental control, that farm, into orchid, you can say flowers, and he have earned by cultivating some flowers over there. And a mechanical engineer, but farmer's son, he has become a progressive farmer even after graduating as engineer. And the team of the student who have worked on this project, they have become agro entrepreneur. They have won prizes at various startup competitions, and now they are established, and they have got orders from Marathwada and whatnot, Pune. Even Symbiosis Institute has given them order to establish such type of, you can say, environmental controlled farm in Pune. So the students, the group of students, they become entrepreneur, one outcome. Technological intervention and development, that is outcome. A farmer, its economy is improved. So societal, ecological, and environmental, all concepts of economy, ecology, and society, entrepreneurship were included and in the form of outcome. So this is one of the success stories of our project, or what I call as institutional social responsibilities. Another good project, which is even taken at national level, it was, you can say, demonstrated even at IIT alumni meet, and it has, you can say, at state level, national level, a very good level of appreciation is received for this project. Concept is very simple. In the adopted village, even though it is declared as defecation free, but open defecation free, but actually there are certain areas which are on the Atikraman area, encroached land. The people are residing on encroached government land. So they don't get any benefit of any government scheme, because there is land is not theirs, it is on encroachment. So they go for open defecation. So another problem is those who reside 30, 40 people, or you can say 3, 4, 10, around 10 families, they reside over there. They have to fetch water from river. So they say that we are fetching water for river, we use it for drinking, we use it for bathing, but we don't want to use for defecation purpose. We feel that it is wastage for of our, you can say, effort. In rather than preferring our toilets, we will go in open. That was the second problem. Third thing, land was the problem. So with lot of discussion with Gram Panchayat, Sarpanch, villagers, and those who were occupying that encroached land, Gram Panchayat was kind enough to give a small piece of land. Then we have constructed a unit having both bathroom as well as toilet. The bathroom you will find it is at the 2 feet height, and toilet is at ground level. So we get 2 to 3 feet of, you can say, potential head between bathroom and toilet. So water which they are presently using for bathing and cloth washing, that now they are doing in bathroom. That water comes to small treatment tank, and after small treatment it comes to toilet for flushing purpose. So this is the final, you can say, look. You will find that this is their bathroom, which they are using it for bathing and clothes. This is the tank where the water from bath comes over here. It gets filtered. Small, you can say, treatment takes place. Overflow goes for harvesting, or even it is good for plantation. Otherwise it is used for flushing of the toilet. From toilet, you can say, septic tank, again after treatment it goes to harvesting. So water saving is immense, and for those families we found that total, you can say, for 10, you can say, people, for one single person, almost total water recycle is 3000, and for such 100 people it is more than 3 lakhs. So it is water consumption, it is water reuse, it is water recycle, and this project is highly appreciated as state as well as national level. But rather than appreciation, what is more important, it is in align with our theme, that technological intervention for rural development. If we see the outcome now, instead those resident of that people, they were going for open defecation, now they are going using the toilet. Earlier, whatever water they used to use for bathing and clothing, it was almost getting wasted. Now that water gets purified, recycled, it is reused, and the principle of society, principle of preservation, principle of conservation, principle of, you can say, sustainable development, technological intervention, and outcome. All our parameters are achieved, and again, one of our student, is propagating such type of things now in his villages, and he has also is trying to become entrepreneur. uh, Complete success he has not yet got, but at least entrepreneurship he has chosen, and he is doing such things henceforth. Third project I will like to share with you, which is again technological intervention of for rural development, and again it is on renewable energy concept, is fabrication of small biogas plant. Now, in one of the adopted villages, there is Anganwadi, just you can say babysitter or a children's school. And we know that in children's school they have to cook khichdi or food for the children. Presently, they were using LPG. We know the cost of LPG, but in that village near Anganwadi only, there is cattle shed and few cows and buffaloes are there, but there is no biogas plant over there. So we have developed, designed, developed the biogas plant using plastic tanks, our regular water storage tanks, and we were able to provide that biogas plant to the villagers. Advantage is local villagers, village students or youths, they were trained to fabricate such type of small size biogas plant. Every house, if they are having biogas, using food waste, our daily kitchen waste as the feed to the biogas, one biogas can suffice the requirement easily of one family. This is what we have tried to, you can say, demonstrate before the villagers. This is how the village student, village youths and our student jointly were working to prepare the biogas plant. You will find the material used for biogas is nothing than two water tanks only, which generally we have in our houses, water storage tank. So using water storage tank, a biogas plant was fabricated, it was made functional, and it was used for food cooking. Another example is conversion of agro waste like green weeds, vegetable fruit waste, kitchen waste into micronutrient rich manure and biogas at the place of its generation only. It is again the technological intervention wherein the waste such as agro waste or fruit waste or kitchen waste can be converted into manure and biogas. The simple principle of this technology is whatever the things I am mentioning, maybe food waste or vegetable waste or fruit waste, we all know that water content of fruit, vegetable, or kitchen waste is more than 80%. There is less than 20% solid in it, and more than 80% is water. Even if dry, almost you can say vegetable like potato, its moisture content is more than 80%. The vegetable like tomato, it contains more than 95% of water. So anything in the farm, whatever green waste comes out after weeds, etc., are removed, it contains more than 60 to 70% moisture. So what we can see that all these organic waste, they contain 70-80% water and less than 20-30% solid. So in fact, it is a liquid waste, not a solid waste, but we try to find out solution considering it as solid waste. So with this principle, what we do, we first remove the slurry out of that waste. So automatically the quantity goes below 30% to be handled as solid waste. And this liquid juice which comes out from it goes for biodigestion, which gives water, this biogas, and 30-40% solid. They are further converted into manure. So this project is also very much successful. I will show the small, you can say, video of it. So the first step is crusher, where the fruit or waste gets crushed into small size. Then juicer, the juice is separated. Juice through this pipeline goes to the biogas plant, and solids get converted into manure. So we get zero waste from it. From one side, what we get is biogas, and solids get converted into highly micronutrient rich manure which can be directly used for as a fertilizer or manure for the plant. I will like to show one small video and then we will stop for question answer session. So, madam, is it visible, madam?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, your voice is breaking and not audible.
Thank you. I think with this, now only 15 minutes are remaining. So sometime I must keep for some interaction if it is required. So madam, if you permit, should I stop here?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
That
sir.
session was really informative, sir.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Yes, dear participants, do you want to ask any queries to sir? Let us have interaction with sir to implement certain sustainable goals in our institute also. Yes, participants, do you want to share your innovative ideas that you have already implemented in institute? Please come forward.
I will be very happy if some of you can share your own, you can say, good practices, good projects, so that we can also implement at our, because sharing is the key word nowadays. Collaborations.
Yes, sir. In fact, sir, this STTP is also it is in collaboration with two
Yes,
institutes, sir.
yes. And I am glad that I am little bit associated with both the institutes. Our BVOC program. Yeah, yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh,
I think
yes.
Good,
participants.
good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Myself Subhash Karnokar. We have facing a lot of problem. मराठी बोलत चालेल ना
हो बिलकुल शुअर सर अगदी
तर
नक्की.
आता काय होते की अर्बन पॉकेट्समध्ये जे बिल्डिंग मध्ये जे वेस्ट येते त्याच्यामध्ये फार म्हणजे त्याचं कसं कन्झर्वेशन करायचं हा एक मोठा प्रॉब्लेम आहे. कारण की कॉर्पोरेशनचे जे व्यक्ती आहेत, कॉर्पोरेशनचे जे स्टाफ आहे, फक्त ते म्हटले की ड्राय प्रोडक्ट आम्ही घेऊन जातो आणि वेट जो असतो म्हणजे जो आपला किचन वेस्ट आहे, जसं तुम्ही म्हटलं बायोगॅस मध्ये आपण कन्वर्ट करू शकतो, तर तो खूप मोठा प्रॉब्लेम आहे. तर याला आपण कसं सॉल्व्ह करू शकतो हा प्रॉब्लेम आहे आमचा. तर याला कसं की बरेच जण आता नगरपालिका किंवा महानगरपालिका यांना मोटिवेट करतात की तुम्ही तुमचे जे आहेत तुमचे प्लांट तुमच्या सोसायटीमध्ये तयार करून याचं वेस्ट जे आहे म्हणजे वेट वेस्ट जे आहे ते तुम्ही तुम्ही तुमच्याकडून उचलणारच नाही असं त्यांचं स्टेटमेंट आहे.
बरोबर.
तर याला आम्हाला
थँक्यू सर, तुम्ही अतिशय राईट. सुभाष सर, आय फुल्ली ॲग्री विथ यू. आणि आपण गेल्या 5-7 वर्षापासून स्टेट गव्हर्नमेंट आणि अमरावती कॉर्पोरेशनशी सुद्धा केलाय. मी स्ट्रॉंग बिलिव्हर आहे की वेस्टचं सोल्युशन हे डिसेंट्रलाइज्ड मध्येच करेक्ट सोल्युशन होऊ शकेल. कारण एक लक्षात घ्या सर की आपल्या प्रत्येकाच्या घरात हार्डली काही ग्रॅममध्ये कचरा तयार होतो रोज. आणि आपण हा बेसिकली इफ वी कन्सिडर वेस्ट ॲज अ प्रॉब्लेम, मग आपण काय करतो, हा वेस्ट जमा करत करत लहान प्रॉब्लेमला खूप मोठा प्रॉब्लेम करतो, मग आपल्याला सोल्युशन मिळत नाही. तर आय स्ट्रॉंगली बिलीव्ह की ॲप्रोप्रिएट स्मॉल लेवल इंडिव्हिज्युअल, एक तर घर असेल तर घर, नाही तर अपार्टमेंट्स असेल तर इंडिव्हिज्युअल अपार्टमेंट लेवलवर डिसेंट्रलाइज पद्धतीनेच क्लीन टेक्नॉलॉजीनी, फुल्ली ऑटोमेशननी, आपल्याला अशीच टेक्नॉलॉजी पाहिजे की एखाद्या पिठाची गिरणी असते तशी, की तुम्ही जाऊन तुमचा गहू टाका आणि इकडे कणिक घेऊन जा. तसं आपल्याला अशीच टेक्नॉलॉजी चांगली आहे की या प्रत्येकाने आपला ग्रीन कचरा त्याच्यात टाका, स्विच ऑन करा, ऑटोमॅटिकली तो प्रोसेस झाला की ऑफ ऑफ होईल, चालला जाईल. म्हणजे आपल्याला काम एवढंच असलं पाहिजे की आपण त्याला आपापल्या घरातला ग्रीन कचरा तिथे टाकतोय आणि बटन ऑन करतोय. रेस्ट ऑफ द थिंग दॅट मशीन टू शुड टेक केअर, आणि ते इझिली फिजिबल आहे. मी जसं म्हणजे माझा एक्सपिरियन्स हे सांगतोय की जर आपण त्या कचऱ्यामध्ये फक्त दगड लोखंड येऊ दिलं नाही किंवा काच येऊ दिली नाही, प्रत्येक घराने एवढी जरी काळजी घेतली की माझ्या किचन वेस्ट मध्ये काच नाही आहे किंवा लोखंड नाही आहे किंवा दगडाचा मोठा पीस नाही आहे, या 3 गोष्टी जर आपण अवॉइड केल्या तर स्मॉल क्रशर, स्मॉल ज्युसर या 2 इक्विपमेंटनी तुम्हाला बायोगॅस पण त्या प्लांटला मिळू शकतो आणि ऑटोमॅटिकली तो ड्राय झालेलं सॉलिड वेस्ट बाहेर निघू शकतं. तुमचं मॅन्युअरी बनवत बसू नका. 3 स्टेप प्रोसेस, यू क्रश इट, ज्यूस इट आउट, जसा आपल्या फळांचा ज्यूस काढतो त्या प्रोसेसनी, त्यातला जो चोथा निघतो त्याला ड्राय इट ऑटोमॅटिकली, आणि जे लिक्विड पाणी निघतं ते बायोगॅसला जाऊ द्या. इट इज अ व्हेरी क्लीन प्रोसेस. आणि आय एम ॲडव्होकेटिंग दिस टेक्नॉलॉजी. इवन मुंबईला माझं 2-4 वेळा प्रेझेंटेशनही झालं. काही टेक्नॉलॉजी आपल्या इथे त्या पद्धतीने ॲडॉप्ट झाल्या, म्हणजे इवन निरीने सर्टिफाय केलं होतं. काही ठिकाणी काही जे नंतर इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट आले त्यांनी त्या पद्धतीचं अकोमोडेट केलंही. पण जी सध्या पद्धत आहे की कचरा गोळा करायचा, ट्रान्सपोर्ट करायचा, गावाबाहेर न्यायचा, आणि जो ग्रॅम्स मध्ये असलेला कचरा टन्स मध्ये गोळा करायचा, त्यांनी प्रॉब्लेम वाढतात आहे. वी ॲज अ टेक्नोक्रॅट्स कॅन डेफिनेटली कम फॉरवर्ड. आपापल्यानी आपण सगळेजण मिळून त्याच्यात काम करूया. माझ्याजवळ जे नॉलेज आहे ते मी शेअर करतो, प्रत्येकाने शेअर केलं का आपण क्लीन सोल्युशन, डिसेंट्रलाइज सोल्युशन, इकॉनॉमिकल सोल्युशन, आणि आपले कम्फर्टेबल, की आपल्याला एम हे ठेवायचं की माझा कचरा फक्त मी त्या ह्याच्यात बिन मध्ये टाकेल, स्विच ऑन करून चालला जाईल. रेस्ट ऑफ द थिंग शुड बी क्लोज, क्लीन अँड ऑटोमॅटिक. इट इज फिजिबल सर, अँड इन माय ओपिनियन that is the possible solution or the ultimate solution. Thank you sir.
सर, आमचे CPS थर्मल पॉवर प्लांट मध्ये चीफ इंजिनियर होते, त्यांनी हा प्रयोग केला आणि त्यांनी पण चांगलं डेव्हलप केलं एकल्या नाशिक थर्मल पॉवर प्लांटला. आणि दुसरं सांगायचं आहे की मी माझ्या घरी पण हा प्रयोग केला, पण काय झालं की त्याचा जो स्मेल आहे हा, म्हणजे आम्ही काय करायचो की जे आता काकडीचं जे आहे, वरचे झाड आहे, टोमॅटो आहे, नंतर जे फळभाज्या म्हणजे कॅबेज झालं, बाकी सर्व त्याला क्रश करून नंतर त्याचा क्रश केलेला जे जोता आहे तो सुकवून नंतर एका ब्लॅक पॉट म्हणून आम्ही डेव्हलप केलाय. त्याच्यामध्ये पहिला तो थर टाकायचा, नंतर हळद टाकायची, नंतर हळद टाकल्यानंतर
कंपोस्टिंग, दॅट इज कंपोस्टिंग प्रोसेस.
मी माझा अनुभव आहे की सक्सेसफुल, कारण की ते घरामध्ये ठेवल्यानंतर त्याचा स्मेल यायचा आणि मग आम्ही बंद करून टाकतो. त्यामुळे आम्ही
अगदी बरोबर आहे सर. जिथे जिथे पाणीचं इन्व्हॉल्वमेंट येईल तिथे तिथे वास येईल. ॲरोबिक आणि वॉटर हे आलं की वास येतो. तुम्हाला पहिले त्यातलं पाणी काढून ॲनारोबिक पद्धतीने केलं तरच ती वास फ्री येते. तुम्हाला जे मायक्रोब्स वापरायचे आहे आणि जे कंपोस्टिंग मेथड वापरायची आहे, इट शुड बी डिवाइड ऑफ वॉटर अँड इट शुड बी अँड इट मस्ट बी ओनली ॲनारोबिक. दे नाही तर तुम्हाला तो वास सुचूच देणार नाही. म्हणून तो फुल्ली ऑटोमॅटिक क्लोज्ड छोटासा प्लांट हवा, आणि त्याच्यात टेक्नॉलॉजी शुड बी ॲनारोबिक डायजेशन, नॉट एरोबिक डायजेशन.
सर, हा FDP आणि STP प्रोग्राम जो आहे ना, तो फार इंटरॅक्टिव्ह सेशन, प्रत्येक सेशन आहे त्या पद्धतीने रिप्रेझेंट होतात. प्रत्येक जण पर्सनॅलिटी आहे आणि हे सेशन होणं जरुरीच आहे, काळाची गरज आहे. सोबत आता जे सर्व प्रोफेसर आहेत त्यांच्या अंडरमध्ये जे हे एक टीचिंग इंडस्ट्रीज आहे. म्हणजे जसं एखाद्या टाटा झाले ते मोटर तयार करतात, जसे की व्हेकल्स आहेत, ते रिलेज आहेत. हे हे जे एकदा प्रॉडक्ट झाल्यानंतर त्यांचं आउटपुट नाही आहे. पण टीचिंग इंडस्ट्रीमध्ये एखादा जर स्टुडंट जर चांगला झाला तो मल्टिपल आउटपुट देऊ शकतो. हे मी या एसटीटी आणि एसटीटी प्रोग्राम मधून सांगू इच्छितो. आणि त्यांना घडवणारे जे आहे ते सर्व आपले इन्स्टिट्यूटचे प्रोफेसरच आहेत. आणि त्याच्याबद्दल आपण त्यांना शुभेच्छा आणि हे देतो. आता मी आहे ना, माझा पण एक स्वतःहून अनुभव सांगू इच्छितो जर वेळ असेल तर. मॅडम माझा
सर, सरांना थोडं
अच्छा.
बिझी शेड्यूल असेल आहे. तुम्ही छान बोललात सर, चांगलं इंटरॅक्शन केलं, थँक्यू. व्हॅलिडिटरी फंक्शनच्या वेळेस सर तुम्ही नक्कीच बोलू शकता, आपण
ओके
वेळ
ओके
काढूया.
मॅडम, थँक्यू व्हेरी मच.
सरांचं बिझी शेड्यूल आहे. इन्स्पाइट ऑफ हिज बिझी शेड्यूल ही हॅज टेकन स्लॉट फॉर अस. थँक्यू व्हेरी मच सर. सरांचे प्रोजेक्ट्स, सरांचे इनोव्हेटिव्ह प्रोजेक्ट्स पाहिल्यानंतर सर आपल्या मराठीतला एका युक्तीचा मला इथे आवर्जून उल्लेख करावासा वाटतो की आधी केले मग सांगितले. तुमचे प्रोजेक्ट्स पाहिल्यानंतर मला ती उक्ती ती तीव्रतेने जाणवली की सरांनी आधी सगळं केलेले आपल्याला दाखवले, प्रोजेक्ट सक्सेसफुल झालेले दाखवलेत आणि त्याच्यानंतर प्रेझेंटेशन सरांनी खूप चांगल्या प्रकारे दिलं. हे फार कमी वेळात साधतं की आधी केलं आणि मग सांगितलं. Sir, thank you. And sir, on the behalf of all participants, I would like to say that anything we can do for our students, for our institutes, for our society, and for our nation, that will be through SEE, that is Social,
Thank
Ecological, and Economical Pillars of
Yes,
Sustainable
ma'am.
Development. Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
ma'am.
much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. And
Thank you,
in
ma'am.
fact,
That is the real summary. SEE is the summary of our 2 hours interaction. Thank you. Thank you,
Yes,
ma'am.
sir. Yes, sir. And in fact, under your guidance, we will be happy to work for such projects for our students under your guidance, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
all the
Thank you.
participants. Yes,
Thank you,
thank you.
everybody. Thank you.
Thank you. All the participants, please fill your feedback form. It is already, the link has been shared in chat box.